Hey, thanks for hanging out on today's live stream. Missed last week, just was a busy week. I did an on-site on Tuesday and was pretty out of it on Wednesday. So missed it, wanted to do it on Thursday, but it is what it is. So I'm back today at least. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to be working on phpstan-drupal again. But one thing I wanted to show off is Gabor made a post about the Acquia deprecation reports. I don't words are failing me right now. But since phpstan-drupal and deprecation reporting, he built this dashboard on dev.acquia.com that allows you to see like what are the deprecations and fixes. Drupal 10 was just added with some updates, and this has been used to say like, oh, something is Drupal 10 compatible, something is an info.yaml/composer change, like change the allowed version, like the upper version limit. Or there's no results, which means that it erred in some way or form. Needs manual review. Some are covered by Rector, and all things are covered by Rector. And Rector is the tool which automates some code fixing, and I was sponsored previously by Palantir to help contribute to that. So it's been updated. Finer error segmentation. Clear next step for projects with docs on what to do. So I want to check that out real quick. Project detail pages. So I guess it makes it easier to like go to a specific project and see what needs to be done. Search by maintainer, so you can track your own projects. This is great because Drupal.org lets you see. It actually does have a tab to see your own projects, but it can be hard to know like in here what you need to do. So that'll be really useful. And then in the works, working with the Drupal Association to run reports on PHP 8. That's something we need to do. We're going to run phpstan on PHP 8 against these projects to see if they're compatible or not. Tracking our projects after code readiness to making releases and stabilizing them. So this is one problem we had. They would get like the code fixes would be committed to dev, but there would never be a release that came out. And sometimes it can be like just tagging releases. There's this big hesitancy about it because now you're responsible. But just trying to get a way to like easily tag those releases. Clear access to error logs when parsing goes wrong. Like if phpstan crashes, that's going to be really handy. And data download option, that'd be cool. So I'm really curious to go check this out. Now everything's going to be failing. I guess not everything. So like here, there's no deprecated code. Let's look at token. So in Drupal 10, call the deprecated post method. This is covered by Rector. So this error is returned from the phpstan scans. And then there's a manual mapping that says, yes, we know that this can be covered by Rector. Same with this. Oh. Like this is one that needs to be covered as well. I thought we... No, I guess not. All right. Well, so there's some items here. So I'm gonna pop out of the thread viewer. Yes, I pay for Twitter Blue, so that way I get the fancy thread viewer, and it has been worth the time so far. Can we download a list of found deprecations which are not covered by Rector to more easily track and fix? I think that would be the biggest one. Is we see items that are not, let's see, filter, Rector patch, upgrade plan, type, group, result. Okay, so it had a preview of some of the items. So let's look at errors. Not covered by Rector. I guess this answered my own question. Where'd my tweet go? Never mind. That would be maybe a download as CSV via views data export or other solution. The thing, if we could download this as a CSV, it'd be a lot easier to post a rector or to create rector issues for. And I wouldn't mind doing that one of my Wednesday streams as well, because right now phpstan-drupal has moved towards feature development for around static analysis and less about any of the Drupal 10 initiatives or Drupal 9 is now in full raring mode, but I could dedicate time back to Drupal Rector on my own to help with that out. So, all right, I'm going to get to the pull request and respect property annotations. That needs to be fixed. So this is one item that I want to review. Oh, can I? Okay, I can say that's ready for review. So one thing that we want to do, or that was suggested, is this root issue said validate that the info.yaml contains modules from which classes or functions are used. So Drupal has dynamic namespaces based on modules used. And the idea here is if foo module uses classes from bar module, make sure that bar module is listed as a dependency, so that way it's guaranteed that namespace exists. Because you could install foo and then run it and then boom, it crashes because bar isn't a dependency. Now, the problem is that this could cause errors. Because I know like in Drupal Commerce, we had conditional dependencies. So if I were to go to Commerce, and my one fear is if we were like, let's look at the log module, source, event subscriber. So we have all these event subscribers, but they get registered dynamically if the module exists. So that's my one fear. And I'm going to make sure I copy that. Maybe did I say that? Let's see. I'm going to just flag it. We already have a rule that checks cross namespace checking for @internal. We may need this to be a feature flag, as it could cause problems due to Drupal's ability to have checks to see if a module is installed. For example, commerce log adds event subscribers for various commerce core modules, commerce modules, if they exist. Let's see. All right. But one of the first steps is make the discover Drupal extensions accessible via the service. And Brombod has been awesome and got us this far. So I'm going to review their changes. So now we have an extension map. And what we do is we set that on the service container like we do services. And we've extended the extension object to store the info and the dependencies. And we do that lazy loaded. So once you fetch it, it will parse the info YAML. Because we don't want to parse the YAML of every single file if we don't have to. And then extension map holds that data and lets us fetch it. And this gives a test example. So I am going to close out that conversation and that one. And I believe this could fix, I think this could fix some of our code. So I'm going to put this as ready for review. And I'm going to try something out real quick. So bust open the code, again, git pull, let's do GitHub, PR checkout 264. Now, there's some existing code which recreates the service mapping rules. No, type. Nope, it's a rule. Drupal load includes. So this load includes is rediscovering all the modules, and we can inject this new service and replace it. So let me go and make sure that I have tests for this. So Drupal rules, test rules. I've got load include rules test. So let me run this and make sure it's passing locally. And we're going to refactor the rule to use these new classes. And it always breaks in the first run for reasons I don't know. All right. Here, unwind cannot. Oh, I know why. Composer require dev. PHP not or Drupal 9 doesn't have a dependency on this. It's conditional. It errors if you happen to have PHP unit at a certain level. So it throws an exception, which is I finally found out why I get that unwind exit. Is because of an exception it throws while parsing. I don't know. I could not tell you why it's that exception explicitly, but that's what it is. So let's go ahead and look at our extension.neon, which I finally installed the neon plugin for PHP Storm and did the file name association. So I get nice formatting. So let's look for this load includes tags, arguments. It gets the Drupal root, which is used purely for scanning. So let's inject our service map actually. Or sorry, the extension map. And so arguments would be extension map. Correct. I can never remember if dynamic injection is working here. Oh, why is there an error? Of course, and then neon creates an error. I think it's auto wired, so let's just try that out. So instead of it being a string, let's do extension map. And this extension map equals extension map. Reference, we don't need a constructor comment. All right, so we got the extension map, and now we should be able to do this extension map. Oh, get module. Great. Module name is down here. And what's the return type here? This or null. Perfect. So we can get rid of name arg, module arg, extension directory, Drupal root. Or maybe, oh. Let's see. Let's try to get rid of, I don't want to have the Drupal root. So we've got duplicated. Where's the duplicate? Load includes. All right, maybe then we can try to harmonize this too along the way. So we've got the module argument and the assertions, type arg, the name arg, blah, blah, blah. Module name, get module. If module equal to null. Module get path. Now, actually, I wonder if we should throw an error. To me, if the module can't be found, oh, it even has a to do. So file. So let's go place this here. Type arg, name arg. Where's type arg come from? Right up here. So we can have this, and we could say file cannot be load include because S module is not found. Sure, we'll say because the module is not found and module name. Sorry, so we gotta use the module name. But the Drupal root, that's one problem here. So let's get path, the directory name, this path name, relative path name of the extension from core modules root. The app root here. Oh, so wait, it has the root. Module data scan for modules. Let's process. I don't remember how this works. So scan directory, where does it construct a new extension object? This root right there. All right, let's add, let's do public. So this was like a copy from, I copied this directly from Drupal core, and we're now making our fork changes. So public function, get absolute path, it's a string, return this root directory separator. And so we can say here, module, get absolute path, and let's change this to be the directory separator. And what we could actually do is get extension file name load, get dependencies. No, I was gonna say like we could add like get file path and it would return the path for like a file in there. But I'm not sure how often that's used. So we'll just start here. And I wish there was an easier way to extract out the value from this. But let's rerun the test and see if it passes. I have a feeling it might be the constructor will fail. Yep. Argument 1 must be of type extension map string given. So here we have to say arguments extension map is extension map. I feel like rules got auto wired somewhere. Okay, string given. What? Let's see. Oh, wait. Of course it's broke. It's not working there because the test is manually constructing the rule. Load test include rule. Yeah, it's I would like to instead return get container, get service. Right, I believe that's the way to do it. Rule test. phpstan test case. Container get parameter, get service, service name, get by type. Oh, maybe it's get by type. That's it. So let's do get by type. Let's try that out so we can test the dependency injection. Why? String given. Return new. Like, do I just not? I don't. Why am I? Oh, howdy, howdy, howdy. Okay, now we're somewhere. Test a rule. We got 2 errors. That's not locale module not found. And because PHP stand fixture is not found. Well, that's not what I entirely expected. But maybe that's what should be expected. Let's go and see what's up with these errors. So the good news is this code was able to fix and reduce some of our. It's going to make phpstan-drupal faster, or it's going to make phpstan faster by removing some of the code in phpstan-drupal itself. Now you got to figure out, so file test fixtures, phpstan-fixtures.fetch.inc cannot be loaded from, because the module is not found. Well then, that's not what our tests say. Our tests say that the service map actually works, or the extension map works. Right? We have a test for this? Yeah, extension test. Test dependencies. Oh, wait, that doesn't test the discovery of it. Okay. Autoloader. So the service, the extension should be pushed into here. And the test, or we should have this test here. Where's the rule? There's the rule. So it's saying that the module is always null. So let's put a breakpoint right there and right click debug. All right, extension map. Step in. We have got a handful of modules, but note I just realized this is not setting it. This assumes that it's keyed by array, and it's not. So module data, array merge, use sort. So that's where the problem is, because it's not keyed by the it's not keyed by the module machine name. So what we need to do is an array combine That's the values. And it's array map. I don't know. I wish there was like a way to do array column on an extension, like on an object. And I don't think there is. Extension. And I don't force PHP 7.4, so I can't use like a shorthand arrow function. Turn extension get name. Oh, and the array is modules. So if I were to debug this again, we should be able to fetch it properly. So yeah, so self modules keyed by name. This module, it's no longer null. All right, so let's private static function. Remap by name. Remap rekey by extension name. Array extensions returns an array, and the arguments are it's an array string extension, and the incoming array is the same but by integer. And I'm going to update these for the long. I'm beginning to. I like to use this format far more, so that way it's aware of what the keys are, and also provides better static analysis. So this is just return. All right, so now we say self rekey by extension name modules themes and the profiles. Hooray. Let's change this from rekey to just key by extension name. If I hit play, we should have passing tests once more. But it gives us the full file path. I would like to not do that. Just for testing, it's so much easier for testing. So let's change this to file name, type file name, type whatever, just call this file name. Replace that here and here. File cannot be loaded. So we'll change this to be module get path directory separator file name. I guess that's, how did I get to, oh, because it was the Drupal root. Oh, this absolute path, this root, instead of just the Drupal root, whatever. I think that's fine. I'm going to update the test to be less specific on the path. So file, just modules. All right, cool. So now the next step is we know that a lot of this code is duplicated between module load include rule test. So let's try and streamline that as well. So self get container, get by type, class, and module load include. Let's bring this over to the right. So the constructor so we know we have this as our constructor, and this has all been duplicated. So module arg, the name arg, move module name to right here. Oh, there's module name. But we move this underneath module name. And this becomes this module, and if module is equal to null, return the same error. File equals absolute path. And let's upgrade these error messages to be the rule builder from deleted too much. So file cannot be loaded from module load include. Which means we do not need the module handler class. And file cannot be loaded from there. All right. So now we know one thing to do is the type is used for build the file name. Let's see. Is this going to be deprecated in Drupal 10? Well, it will be, but I guess it needs review. Three months ago. All right, so that's going to stick around forever. So it's worth trying to consolidate these into a shared trait. No name. So var name. Let's see, module type handler interface is super of. That's because we're not just checking a function call, but it's all about extracting out this. But they're different. That's the problem. Is there implements rule? Is there a I know Rector has helpers for extracting argument values, and that's what I want to try to find in here. So developing extensions, scope, get file, trait, get function. No, we're solving special cases. Reflection, type specifying extensions. Always use testing backwards compatibility. I don't think there's any way to more easily extract argument values. Which is why we'll go into phpstan itself and see what we can find. Rules, args. Attributes check. Okay, let's check beyond that. Right, mutating scope. This get type method call, nope. Method call node scope resolver for each process. Ugh. That's process. That is not going to help. Type specifier. Get specified types and condition. Nope. Attribute check. So that's a big no. So I guess there isn't an easy way to extract this. Let's see, there's got to be something reusable. Node arg, if arg instance of, arg get attribute. No, we don't want anything that's in the args for each arg. Let's see here. Arg value scope get type. Arg unpack. Type will just tell us the phpstan type, which doesn't give us the value. So scope, get file, get function, get type. Resolve is in function. No. Let's see. Mutating scope won't do it. No visitor, that's not expression order. No. Source locator. That just defines an argument. Comparison. Describe, that's just a description of all the args. Class exists. That generates a new get other type. Get default. Again, that's just for types. It's not for getting the value of it. Just want an easy way. phpstan extract arg. I doubt. Oh, here we go. Second. WordPress. Getting the value of a function. Argument type. Get type, argument type, instance of constant array. Let's try it. So let's see. Do we have a count? We don't have a count check first. So let's first do, we assume that module load include has 1, 2, 3. If no args. So that's one thing we need to do is if node if there's 0 arguments passed, or if there isn't 3, we're gonna bail. Right, so this should be 2. No, 1, 2, 3. So that should be 3 as well. Oh wait, hold on. Args is not equal to 3. And let's run the test. Load includes. Load includes. Okay, let's see. If count is not equal to 3, well, what's the count then? Load include unto the base name. Oh shoot. So if count is less than 2, that's the trick. So if it's less than 2, bail, because the third argument can be null. That's right. All right, so we got the args, and let's see. Now, I'm pretty sure we're supposed to call this directly from now on instead of args itself, because so let's do var name node var load includes. This checks that it's of the module type. So what we need to do is test equals scope get type node get args 0 value. Just do args equals node get args, just to count args arg pirates. So let's do a debug here. We should get back a string value. Constant string type value. Oh man. So module arg. So what we can do is say module arg insert module arg instance of constant string type is what it was. So the marginal arg, we can do value. So that makes it a little bit easier. So now it's scope, get type, args 1, value. Oh, but it might not be a constant string type. That's right. Well, let's just start. We'll just go down this rabbit hole to start. Because it could be a variable, which might not be a constant string type, if I remember right. And then type arg value name arg. Okay, so this is also the same. Let's run it. Make sure it still passes. And hopefully I can get this to a point where all right, so I caused a crash. So let's debug it. Oh, okay. So yeah, that's where we have problems. So we're asserting that name arg value. Okay, so we moved to the scope. Constant string type. Scalar to Boolean, integer, float. Okay, well, I guess it's going to be a string of some sort. Actually, what we can do is let's see, where's a good place to put this? Let's do private function get string arg value. Let's collapse some of these checks. So value is an expression, which is, so it's node expression. And it will return a nullable string. Oh, well, we got also pass the scope. So scope. So we'll say type equals scope, get type from expression. Sorry, now I lost my space. So node get type from the expression if type instance of constant string type, return type, get value, return null, which I'm sure we could put to a null coalescent or whatever you want to see. Does it show up? No. All right, so module arg equals this get value scope if module arg is not equal to null, turn an empty string, because if we can't get the string back, that means there's a problem with the arguments, and that should be caught by another rule, hopefully. So So then type arg would be the same thing. So type arg value, pass the scope. And the idea is that this is going to end up in a trait or something else that we can use. If type arg null, either a trait for this get string arg value or a shared base class for the load includes to extract these arguments. Problem is that they have different argument orders, like load include. Let's see, so module load include. So this has type module, yeah, type module name. Oh, is it the same? Module type, so it's backwards, yeah. Module then type, and then this says type module name. So they are flip-flopped a bit. Which I guess we could, let me get this far. Maybe we can actually handle that. So name arg is, so this does need handling. So this should handle a, so if name arg is null, there, else name arg equals this get we're going to let this accept a nullable. No, that just feels wrong. But the problem is, like, we have, so it's like if name arg not equal to null, name arg, I guess, hold on. If with set node, or rather args 3, 2, name arg equals this get string arg value, args 2 value scope. Name arg equals null. So we'll make it equal null. And then if we have it, we'll fetch it. Okay, then we'll reset it to here. And now we don't need to call get value because, so we can say module name. Clean this up. So module name, if module name is equal to null, module name, delete that, type prefix is the name arg. All right, let's run that. That feels a little bit cleaner. And the important part is it feels like something we can move into a class called public function. Oh, I guess it's got to be duplicated in some. Like, I don't think we can get too much cleaner than that. File name. Maybe we can. So let's see. I want to see how clean we can, how much we can abstract this between the two with it still making sense. Private function get load include get load include args. It's not, we're not getting the args. Parse load include args. Sure, we'll say that. So we're going to say this is a, so the value is an expression. So we have node expression, and we know that module handle load include. Let's do load include module node expression type. And then we have the nullable node expression name. Correct. And this is going to return an array. So this gets string value. Oh, and scope. So module name, the module. So this way we can pass in any order of arguments and it doesn't matter. So the two can share this function and it just works. So type. So we can rename this from being type arg. Arg. We're going to put arg after this. So module name, type. Now we're duplicating. Let's change this to, so we got module name. And our return, we're going to return module name. Let's do file type. Because that's what the type is for, is the file type. File type and name. What's name? Name. Base file name. So we'll say base name. Base name equals null. If name is not equal to null, so that name. So if name is not equal to null, then base name equals name, base name equals module name. Type prefix is the type arg. Now you got all kinds of confused. Name arg. So it's base name. Type prefix. All right. So the idea is that this returns the 3 values for deconstruction, which we don't even need to make a file name here. We can just return that. So we can copy this array. We'll say equals this parts args, which we know args 0. So I feel like we got to pass the actual argument in here. Args variadic placeholder. Arg. Let's see. Oh, so this is just file name. So arg0 value, args 1 value is the type, and then this is where I was thinking like we need to just passing in arguments instead of the expressions. And that's where I'm going to refactor this a little bit. So this should be arg0, 1 and 2. update PHP parser node. Okay, so it's just node arg. Arg, nullable arg, value, there we go. And since we know that this is the name argument is optional, why is this yelling at me? Oh, scope. That should make it happy. No. Parameter scope is missing. Module, type, name, scope, comma, not a period. All right, so let's see. So we'll do module name. I guess we don't even need the file type because it really is just the module name and file name. So let's update this. All right, and delete all this here. So just that little bit is duplicated. Sweet. All right, so that was a huge refactor that now we can split and share between these two rules. And again, the main difference is that module load include has a different what do you want to call it? I don't know. As a different signature. That's the word. So let's create a load include base.php. Copy some boilerplate. We'll say abstract class load includes base. Yeah, and it's just like it got flip flopped. Like if it like what is it like? So it's type module the name. Actually, I don't even remember from module load include fixture. So yeah, so it's module type name, and then this is type module name. Why? Like why did it get flip flopped when moved to a service? Like I guess technically, I guess it makes more sense when like oh it's the module then the include name of the type like I guess the module which the include belongs. Okay, I guess I don't know. It's now that I'm actually reading this out loud. Okay, the way it was changed to make sense. The original module load include always confused the living heck out of me. That's why. Either way, implements rule. So let's copy these out. This is the relevant bit. I'm going to keep the LNLP yes. I'm going to keep this private for get string arg value because the children shouldn't need that. Implements, we'll say extends load base. Actually, we can share the constructor too at that point. So module load include extends load base. That's constructor and copy. Copy this line and adjust. Args equals node args. So type. So module is 1. Type is 0. And name is again the last one. And we delete all this code. Module name. Module name. And this part's duplicated. I guess we could streamline this too. No, I'm just gonna, oh, see, look, right there. Right, this is for module load include. File cannot be loaded for module load include because blah module is not found. I copied that error. Never mind. Similarly, let's clean up any of the unused classes and run the tests. Cool. That's actually a lot of cleanup. Yeah, they're disconnected from the file structures. You have to read the method to make sure you do it right. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. But the funny part is, it is in modern context, but I remember when first using it, I was like, oh, I get it. Like, it feels like it met old paradigms in PHP development in some way. It was always a little quirky, but like it made sense, or maybe I got used to it so fast. String given. Oh, I need to fix the arguments. And drop the prefix. Nope. Oh, a period. Yeah, like, you know, all those, like, we don't have like fancy file includes anymore because we have auto loading. But I remember back in the day, there's all kinds of random ways to include files, like WordPress include file. Like, I'm pretty sure WordPress has their own. Okay, never mind. Well, there's the whole like Git template directory and whatnot, but I thought they had like a fancy way of like a pattern matching mechanism for loading files. But pre-Composer, everybody had their own thing, so it's not completely out of left field. Let's see. I do not want to commit to Composer JSON. I had to add PHP spec, PHP spec, PHP unit, bridge, whatever, prophecy to get tests work locally. Source, the extension, get absolute path, boom. Extension map, make sure we can fetch things properly. Actually, let's see here. I'm going to make a note. The incoming data is not keyed by extension name, so all of these getters will return null. Start review. Before I commit, I'll at least like note some of the things. So finish. I expanded this to reduce code and the load include rules. I notice that all of the extension map getters are null since data is not keyed by module name in the when set. Pushing fix with refactored load includes code. I'm really excited about this. So load include base, load includes. Look at all that cleanup. Love it. And the last step, rules. Yeah, rules, the extension. First, PHP vendor bin, phpcs source. Because I always use Drupal coding standards, and now I'm in a PSR 2. So 23, yep, all these. Extension 124. Perfect. Now would you bin phpstan? No errors. All right. Leverage extension map with load include rules. Commit push. Oh shoot! I pushed with. Git push. Please don't be broken. So I forgot when I push with PHP Storm, it gets weird and breaks the remote. Man. Get. How do you get branch? That's not. All right, I'm gonna do it the old school way. Wait, get remote v. Do I have Brombod added? No. All right, so we'll do it the old school way. So get remote add Brombod code SSH, copy it. Get remote add, get FP, get push, Brombod, issue 249. There we go. And that's how you do it without after you screw up the GitHub PR checkout. I'm going to just approve this. PHP Drupal CI supports phpstan but doesn't let you configure the rules. That's a good question. Drupal, what is it? Drupal CI test bot. I think. Okay, let's see. Plugin, build task, stage, no, step, code validate, phpstan. Let's see. I don't remember real quick. Vendor phpstan, the results XML. Checks, unable to install tools, install phpstan. So what it does is it installs phpstan-drupal dev. Then it installs the deprecation rules. So you can't add like strict checks. So you cannot do like really, really strong analysis. So it does the install phpstan and then exec Git project config, exec, save host artifact. Oh, add PHP stand neon. So neon path. Yep. So it provides a hard-coded neon file of custom rule set. So level nothing, and all it does is catch deprecations. So you cannot use Drupal CI as PHP stand to actually do static analysis. All it does is basically check for deprecations. That's all. So if, oh man, I broke a test. What? PHP stand far. What? Well, that's cool when your local says one thing. Oh, and I forgot to commit this file too, I guess. So that's part of it. What is it? Key by extension name. Should return array string, Drupal extension, or false. Oh. Or false. Why would it return false? Is it because false if the number of elements for each array isn't equal to, or if the arrays are empty? Would that make it how is it gonna? Oh, because on short ternary use no coalescence if applicable. I know why. Yep. So let's see. Array combine. Let's see here. So in PHP 7.4 or in PHP 7, it could return array or false. In PHP 8, it only returns an array because it throws an error if it's not mismatched. If it's mismatched. So, let's say PHP 7.4 returns array false. PHP 8 only returns an array. Result equals, and we'll say result or return result Well, this is just annoying. Because locally it's gonna say not found. So let's see on the extension neon for this. Let's see. What I should do is I'm targeting 7.3, 7.4, 7.2. Well, that's just annoying. Strict comparison. Actually, I want to keep this to just return and phpstan ignore line. We're just going to ignore the line because I'm not going to make all kinds of workarounds just for that little static analysis. So get status, get add source, get add tests, get diff cached. Okay, get amend, and I'm going to force push that to, oh, great, to brown bot. All right, so that should fix that test, or those CI jobs rather. And now we'll be able to fix, like, we now can perform checks to see if we're, wait, maybe, hold on, how do we, internal, so how we can check is we have this helper that says is Drupal namespace or is shared namespace. So is Drupal namespace checks if it's Drupal for the first key, and what we'll be able to do is so is shared namespace checks the second item to see if it's the same, but we'll have to say like get module from namespace. And we could check if code's being called across across namespaces when they're not dependencies of one another. Now what? No, I said ignore that line. 1 second. Sorry, there's so KUSD, the local school district, has it where if there's 3% COVID positive cases, they go virtual, and we're like on the verge. And I thought it was a message from our son's teacher saying that it was time to go virtual, but it's not. So so line 76 should return array string, but returns array string or false. Come on now. Is it because array map can too? Let's see. JetBrains return array. From array. So it's just array combined. Why is it not ignoring the line? I guess I'm gonna have to get, oh, where to go? Extension map. I know I want to update these. So brew unlink for 7.4. That's all I can do is I just gotta unlink PHP to composer update. And PHP vendor bin analyze. Okay. Now, why? Let's see if maybe it's just extension names. I don't want to ignore the return type. Combined equals search combined. When PHP 7.4 is dropped, reduce to a single return. The good news, I guess, is that I can put this array map back in place. Now let's do brew unlink and force PHP 8.0 and see if this explodes. Okay, so PHP stan. Okay, maybe this will work now. So, oh my god. I'm gonna, all because of this stupid interop between PHP 7 and 8. Ignoring errors. Oh, wait. Ignore next line? Is that why? Is it seriously because I did ignore line on... Whatever. I'm keeping it. That makes everything happy. Status. Get source. Get amend. Get push. All right. Let's go back to the pull requests. And issues. I know somebody just opened a new issue I need to review. Somebody opened an issue about unsafe usage of new static. So the ignore, I was doing ignore line, and that intends for you to put it in line. Like I would be like, I think the other one wanted you to do like PHP stan ignore line, like ignore that one single line, but that's not how I read it in the source code for PHP stan, right? Like ignore next line, ignore line. I don't. Oh, maybe that's a trick for like the return. I don't know. But probably if I would have used ignore next line from the beginning, I would have been just fine, but I didn't. Unfortunately, PHP stan displays this error regardless. Always, PHP always displays this error. Drupal uses new static for extensibility. What am I looking for? Oh, here. how do we ignore right? So the new static can't be hit removed, and where's the config I'm looking for? No dev. No. No. I know. Oh wait, GitHub.com. Gorilla, Open Social. I know they're using phpstan. And it's cool, they're using it at level 8. Like, I don't even know how. You'll need to manually ignore that. Error. I did not want to hit submit. Thanks for hanging out. I always appreciate the company. Let's see. Unsafe usage of the new static. Let's go back to phpstan. That's right, there's no way. To disable this. New static rule. It's part of level 0 config. GitHub.com, phpstan. That's right, we gotta go to the source. Config 0 static. As far as I can tell, there is no way for extensions to try and remove a registered rule. I wish there was. But by the time that the autoloader hits, the container's already been bundled. So by the time actually we get to Drupal autoloader, is this hack even needed? Oh, I think it's needed on my side. But by the time we get here, the container is already built, so we can't modify the container at all. Though, what if? I know before I could do some weird hacky things, but let's see. Source, dependency injection, rules extension. Git config schema, load, builder, add definition, set factory, set auto wired rule. Okay, so it's now auto wired. Registry factory, rule tag, create, get services by tag, class registry, create, this add definition, builder, let's get container builder. Yeah, it's already built. There's no way to modify it. All right, so this is passing. I'm gonna merge it. Let's do create a merge, commit. Cool. So that cleans up some code. Respect property definitions. What was I gonna do? Fix the new type system. All right, I'm gonna try to quick work on this before I pop off the stream. So get checkout main. Get checkout main. Checkout main. Get pull. Get PR checkout. 268. All right, what was my note on Affinity Fields Magic Reflection? Has native property. Okay, class reflection. That's right. We were so class reflection. Get native reflection. What line was this? 23 has native property. So what is this? Object type. So let's do name test equals so object type test property. Say has property. So has property should check the class reflection. Has property, class reflection has property is final extension. Okay. Extension has property. Mix in annotations. Yeah, all right. So let's do type equals, and we should be able to just do, right? They added a test, I think, which is beautiful. I love it. So let's do this where we say type has property. Type, let's do content entity type equals new object type. And actually, content entity type is super of type. Yes. All right. So we can actually fix this reflection class. Right? Yeah. All right. So there's a bit more work or a bit more of changes than I was planning on doing, but I think it makes it a little bit cleaner. So we get property. Entity type. New object type. This is now entity type is super of type yes, and this is now self get yes. Usages, none. Which should mean that we have this here. Sure, we'll leave that. All right, so let's try running this test. The data provider oh wait, no. Let's try it again. Uh-oh. The data provided is invalid. Oh, and we got a loop. All right. Let's entity property test. Let's see. Test reflection entity fields via magic. All right, we've got a test here. Xdebug is an infinite loop. Okay, so I really broke something here. Line 24. If type has property. Oh shoot, I see. Yeah, it really is recursing into it because type has property goes into the class reflection, which taps into here. So we cannot do that. Annotated properties. Let's find. Hold on. This should be. Well, I'm going to undo this change. Let's just undo these. I'm just going to undo all of this. Except for that. So let's play. I'm going to make a comment. We cannot use the type system as object type as property calls this reflection extension, and we get an endless loop. All right, so that passed, and this passed. But the thing is, let's go. Let's see. So where is this being? This is just defined in the services. But how is it being registered? Like, if it's annotations, so we should not be breaking the annotations methods class reflection. So lazy reflection extension. Let's get by type. So PHP class annotations and properties. Annotations. Okay. So I just don't understand how we're causing it to break. Or are people not annotating it correctly? Let's look at the example. The fixture was added somewhere in here. Reflection entity test. Yeah, so property. So it's saying that this was broken, but I don't understand how we broke the tags. Let other parts of phpstan handle this. Cool. Annotations mix in. Like why return is set. Let's see. I mean, in the end, I guess we just have to check that. Why did debug not work? Because I'm not on PHP 8. Oh, nope. Never mind. Oh, is it? I see. Because we override the annotations. I see. So we return true before this can be processed. So let's see if we can, if there's anything in here we can borrow. Probably not. So method, no, that's method by annotation. Annotations, properties. Here we go. If not, is set this properties, class reflection cache key. Property reflection. Guess we can improve this, but property equals this find class reflection with property. Class reflection, get property tags, which is exactly what this does. And then it gets the traits. Oh, this is deep. Can we change the ordering or the priority of this? Like to have this run, I would like ours to run last. Like let the annotation run first. So let's see here. Compose extension.neon entity fields dynamic properties class reflection extension. Let's go to phpstan. Because ideally ours should run last. Like that's what we want. Mix in properties. So broker factory. Let's find usages of this constant. So let's see, where were we? Create type specifier. For each container get services by tag, methods, dynamic return. So it gets all the things as extension and adds it as a type specifier. So get services by tag, net, tags the services, find by tag, take attributes, takes the service, gets service. Okay. memoizing original container. Let's do net container. This container. Find by tag. This tags. Find by type. Tips and tricks. That's from Latte. Let's go to net.org. Caching. Let's go to projects. The dependency injection. All right. Container services. Services setup. Database arguments. Type router. Foo arguments. Oh, we don't want to do the arguments. Analyzer. Special functions. Reference. Setup. Battle wiring. Tags. Tags logger. There's no priority. So net di wait. Come on. Items with the same keys appear in configuration files will be overwritten. Later included file has a higher priority than the previous one. Including files. All right. Let's try something silly. So, what? Hell. Lazy property. Lazy class extension. No. Class annotated methods, annotated properties. This gets automatically added. Broker. Property extensions. Get by type. Broker. Merge. Class get by tag. Property reflection. Okay, where is this used? So this is identified as service 55. So all the services have a number in it. No idea. I'm just going to run the debugger. No test executed, probably because the YAML's invalid. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 26, 46, 47. All right, we're just gonna oh, that's way too much work. What we got to do is we just got to do. Should have this run after. We should not have to check for the property tags. We should not have to check for the property tags if we could get this to run after the if we could get this to run after PHP stands existing annotation property reflection. All right, I really want to dive into this. Let's debug what's broken. So you know how we have tag services in Symfony, but you can like put a priority on them so that way it sorts. Net doesn't do that with its dependency injection and its tagged services. So things are loading out of order. Type with property has property. Class reflection has property. So we can, let's reload this. So the problem is the sorting in this class properties or properties class reflection. So you can see we have PHP class makes it universal simple, and the Drupal one comes before annotations. So the annotations is what would read at property tag and should just work. This get properties. So I want to see how we can get this sorted out. Properties class reflections, because like why is ours showing up before that? Runtime get class reflection, this reflection provider, this, oh boy, registry get. Gonna reload even further. Properties, so we can see here we're loaded before that. Get registry, and it just loads like this. So get services by tag. I'm going to drop it into the net container. Actually, let's drop it into here. So tag name equal to, let's reload. All right, so tag name, this container, original container, tags the services, this container, find by tag, this tags. And we can see dynamic properties class reflection extension. So we've got 67, 71, 017, 0309, which if we look at tags, types, wiring, no. Shoot, I bet that's it. Like, it's because it's numbered. And I wonder if that's why it's numbered. So if we were to go to the tags, we've got all the tags. This gets service name, 67. What's 67? This aliases. All right. Nope, that's nothing. Method. So this instances, that's not a thing. Oh, return. So container types instances. Here we go. So 067 is the class reflection. Let's see, 071. So for some reason, well, I know this order 0309 is the. Okay, let's stop this. We know that for some reason, this is coming as service ID 0309. And I have no idea why, and I don't think there's any way I can influence it and fix that. Tags the services, get tags, construct. Yeah, I don't think there's any way to influence that. Which stinks. Create service type specifier, get service, get container. This container create. Additional config files, get parameter, container. Container factory new, add config, create container, this load container, class, container is new class. For each, this services, there's nothing, then initialize, it loaded from the cache, so that doesn't fix anything. Well, I guess there's nothing I can really do. What I could do, I guess, is open an issue on Drupal for phpstan, but just gonna make a note. Make note of why we need to check property tags. Commit, push, github.com, php, issues, let's see, I guess dynamic identity field. I want to see if there's anything close. Magic properties are assumed to be well behaved. Stubs inheritance, enable. Okay, I'll open a support question. Category support. Does net support sorting, waiting, tagged services? In phpstan-drupal, we provide our own properties broker to handle some magical get properties. However, it's being included before what is it called? Get take services. Config. Property annotations. There we go. Which breaks property tags. The fix is to also check property tags on the reflection, but I'd rather our class, our reflection extension run later to avoid duplicated checks. Every other reflection extension is run first. Every other property reflection is run first, but the annotations one is always last for some reason that I cannot understand. Start a discussion and see what happens. And I think my internet just bombed out. Nope, or it's GitHub. I think it's a mix of both. All right. Close that. I made a note as to why this PR was needed and opened a discussion on phpstan. See if we could remove this. See if we could improve our reflection extensions. Close that. Let's merge. Yeah, I realized that my internet dropped out. Sorry. It happened when I was doing this. I opened an issue seeing if netdi, let's change this, netdi support sorting and weighting of tag services. Let's see. Stand PR where phpstan-drupal bug was reported and basic fix added. All right, so there's that issue, and I want to get one more in if my internet is going to allow it. Apparently, it's just done. Allow entity reference on field items. Yeah. Come on, internet. I just want to wrap this up. I need to figure out why this failed. So basically, it's just saying that, yeah, well, we allow magical methods, so why not allow the reference entity method? phpstan. So yeah, it's just saying that entity fields methods via magic reflection. If it's an entity reference field animus, oh, it's even more. All right. That's why. Let's see if we can fix this. Actually, shoot, it's Fort. I really wanted to land this. I'm gonna say autocomplete. Is my internet that bad? The autocomplete's not even working. Sorry, I didn't get to this yet. I will tackle it soon to help it land. All right, so I didn't get to it, but the reason I apologize, I'm going to tag a release right now because we had some good fixes come in. So git pull. So git tag 1.1.2. This internet will get going. Jeez. Git tag 1.2, git push origin 1.1.2. Guess usually I've been tagging it inside of the GitHub UI. Let's create release from tag. Release title. Auto generate notes. Create a discussion. Preview. Test. Make sure discoverable. Cool. Let's update this. Let's say highlights with 264. We have improved we have added the ability to look up discovered extensions, which should greatly improve the rules which load files called by module load include and module handler interface load include, right? Is that module handler interface load include? Previously, these two rules had to rescan for extensions whenever the function or method was parsed, was analyzed. There we go. Okay, failed to map a service with the parent, which overrides its parent 2. Detected in class is extended has been flagged as internal, and so that way it's not always highlighting the poor user who is at internal. I'm gonna wrap it in code tags. Resolve incorrect reflection. Add 10.x to the test runs. Make discovered Drupal extension accessible by service, and respect property annotations. All right, I'm gonna publish this release. Thanks for hanging out. Sorry I missed last week. I'll be back on the bandwagon again. And I'm hoping to try to sneak in some more time again. Like I needed to work on Simply Test Me. And I also have a punch list of Drupal core issues I want to work on. So I'm going to try to find some time to do some more ad hoc streams, but definitely keeping to the Wednesday schedule. So thanks for hanging out and catch you later.